Welcome to Eternal Elements Learning Podcast, brought to you by Atyasa Online. These podcasts are a part of the audio certificate programs on Atyasa Online. You're free to take these podcasts on your desired portal also, should you only wish to learn on the go. Thank you so much for engaging on these podcasts, and you can connect with the author on LinkedIn, Twitter, and Facebook. Welcome back. This is Niket Karajagi from Atyasa Online on Eternal Elements, talking to you about international business, and we are in Season 8. I talked about the Brettenwood Conference, something that was so important in the economic history. There was devastation all over, and the Reconstruction was extremely important. And that's when the Brettenwood Conference happened, and it gave rise to the Bretton Woods system. We shall talk about the Bretton Woods system later when we get into the financial transactions that happened between the countries. But something interesting happened. What happened was that the post-Bretton Woods Conference, when the ratification was being done, at that point in time, there was the whole idea of the World Bank Group that came into existence. So the World Bank Group came into its formal existence on 27th December 1946, which was because of the internal ratification of the Bretton Woods Agreement, which emerged from the United Nations Monetary and Financial Conference, which is also the Bretton Woods Conference. And like I said, it happened between the 1st to the 22nd July 1944. Now what happened is, post the conference, when the Bretton Woods system and the Bretton Woods twins happened, the IMF and the IBRD, there was an internal ratification that happened, and the World Bank Group came into being. The World Bank Group has members, and these members are the ones who benefit from the activities of the World Bank Group. So what was IBRD? IBRD was the International Bank of Reconstruction and Development, and IBRD then became the World Bank. So let's understand, there is the World Bank Group and there is the World Bank. Now let's understand what is it that the World Bank Group comprises of. The World Bank Group consists of International Bank for Reconstruction and Development, IBRD, which was established in 1944, and it provides debt financing on the basis of sovereign guarantees of nations. So the whole idea of IBRD is to ensure the reconstruction and development of nations. This IBRD is also called the World Bank, which operates under the World Bank Group. Then we have the International Finance Corporation, or IFC. It was established in 1956, and it provides various forms of financing without any sovereign guarantees, primarily to the private sector. So the International Finance Corporation funds primarily to the private sector. Then you have the International Development Association, or IDA. It was established in 1960. It provides concessional financing, which is interest-free loans or grants, with sovereign guarantees usually. So that's about the International Development Association. Then came the next organization called the International Center for Settlement of Investment Disputes, ICSID, established in 1965, which works on governments to reduce investment risks. And finally, we have the Multilateral Investments Guarantee Agency, MIGA, established in 1988, which provides insurance against risks, including political risks, primary to the private sector. The World Bank, remember, is generally referred to just as IBRD and IDA, whereas the term World Bank Group is all the 5 institutions that I talked about. So the IBRD and the IDA together form the World Bank. However, a lot of times IBRD is also featured as World Bank. So that's okay. That's how it works. That's how the colloquially people tend to do it. Now, the World Bank was an organization that was created so that it could cater to the monetary requirements of nations. so as to ensure that the nations prosper. And ultimately, World Bank moved into a space where it started funding the emerging countries as well as the countries which were the third world countries. The whole idea is ensuring that countries tend to do well. And that is how the Brettenwood system moved into becoming the World Bank and the World Bank Group. But then there was a problem. And the problem was you had to ensure that there will be no wars, to ensure that there is peace, to ensure that there are institutions which ensure human rights, there are institutions that ensure that the world order prevails. And that's when United Nations as a concept came into being. United Nations as a concept really happened because it was to ensure that peace prevails around the planet. The United Nations was formed post the formation of the Bretton Woods system. We will discuss United Nations later. Our idea is international business. We are interested in business. Therefore, I want to mention one thing. There was another interesting thing that came up, and that was while there was World Bank and while there was world financing happening, there was no international trade organization which should ensure that trade happens between countries. And that's when the need was felt that the world must come together and create an international trade organization. It wasn't easy. It just wasn't easy. And in the next podcast, I will discuss about the formation of the GATT, where the concept started with an international trade organization and it ultimately moved into creation of GATT. Thank you very much. This is Niket Karajagi signing off from Eternal Elements, brought to you by Just Online. I shall talk to you in the next podcast about GATT. And then we will also look at how GATT moved into becoming World Trade Organization. Unless we understand the economic history of the world, we will not be able to do international business effectively. Thank you very much. I'll see you in the next podcast. This is Niket Karajagi signing off from Eternal Elements, brought to you by Just Online. See you later.